Who are you looking at to be the best tight end in fantasy next season, Pierce?
Oh, it's Mark Andrews. It's not even close. Over 100 receptions, 1,300 yards receiving last year. Now, maybe you argue that, well, Andrews can't get better. Well, I think Andrews is going to get even bigger and better this season. Yeah, if the running backs come back, maybe that's going to hurt his potential, but I don't think so. The team still ran the ball a lot last season, and if the line is healthy this year, his quarterback is healthy, if his running backs are healthy, that's just going to take more of the attention away. Teams are going to have to honor the run, and Andrews, I think, is just going to have an even bigger season. Darren Waller could also benefit from Devontae Adams being there, sort of the way that Travis Kelce had great seasons because teams had to focus on Tyreek Hill. Speaking of Kelce, I don't know if he'll be as dynamic with Tyreek Hill gone. But he's still too big for cornerbacks to cover, and he's still too fast for safeties and linebackers. Those are the guys that I would target. Kittle, a little too mercurial. I like Kyle Pitts next season. He could, he's on the precipice of being a star in this league, but who's his quarterback? So Andrews is the guy.
I mean, Jeff, is Andrews the guy here? He paced all tight ends in fantasy points in 2021. Kelce did the prior 5 seasons.
Mark Andrews is really interesting. I would side with Pierce as well. That I think that he's got a very good shot of being the top tight end in football. You look at what Andrews did last year. He increased his number of routes run by over 200. The Ravens passed the ball a little bit more than people thought last year, and that really helped Mark Andrews. But some people are calling for a little bit of aggression here because they think the Ravens are suddenly going to run the ball more and they're just not going to pass. The Ravens were still one of the lowest passing teams in the league last year. Like, I still think that Mark Andrews is going to get plenty of routes runs, he's going to get plenty of targets, and now there's no Marquise Brown. So, no, I think Mark Andrews is really good. He's just hitting his stride. He's basically operating as the wide receiver 1 in that offense. I think I would prefer him over Kelce, especially at the current ADPs. I think 2 tight ends that could pop up this year and perhaps challenge. I think George Kittle could definitely bounce back. Still very dynamic. He's got to stay on the field. And I think TJ Hawkinson is just a player. I still think that there's a little bit more on tap here. I know he's connected to Jared Goff, but I think there's a little bit more you can get out of TJ Hawkinson. I look at him as a potential value down in the draft at tight end as well.